We have breaking news from BC where the results of the judicial recounts from the provincial election have been released. And the CBC's Sarah Galashan is in our Vancouver newsroom. So Sarah, what has happened?
Andrew, it is as it was. The NDP have been now by a judge. Justice Kevin Liu has declared that the NDP candidate Gary Begg has won the riding of Surrey-Guildford. So that he's won it, though, by 22 votes. Initially, they were in the lead by 27. So in the recount, there's been a discrepancy of 5 votes. It is still a win, though. That still gives the NDP now 47 seats, 47 being the magic number for a majority. No matter how narrow that majority might be, that will give the NDP what they need for a majority government. This recount started yesterday in a makeshift courtroom out in Surrey. Another recount happening in Kelowna Centre, and another one up in Prince George Mackenzie as well. But this one in Surrey-Guildford really was the one that all eyes were trained on, because it was the question of whether or not this would be a minority or majority NDP government in British Columbia. So we now have that answer. The recount starting yesterday, going into today, and it was meticulous. I mean, overseen by a judge. There were 10 teams of 2 counters and 2 scrutineers on each team. They had to go through each of these, more than 19,000 ballots, determine the validity of them, determine the intent of the voter. If they couldn't decide that, they would take it to the judge for a final decision on that ballot. And now, just after 1 p.m. Pacific time, we have this answer. We are expecting we're going to be hearing from the Premier later today. He's going to be meeting with Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. That's not for a couple of hours, but I'm sure this is news that's going to sit well with the NDP.
Yeah,
Andrew.
I'm sure it is. Okay, so what's next? As you mentioned, there's still 2 others, but it doesn't make a difference. I mean, obviously, every vote should be counted. I don't mean it that way.
Every vote should be, and it will be. Yeah. Yeah, but it's not going to change the results, especially in Prince George Mackenzie, because in that case, what they're doing is they're having to count a ballot box that was missed, 861 votes, but in that riding, the Conservatives have already handily won it by more than 5,000. And while Kelowna was close, the Conservatives leading by 36 votes, it's still not going to change the fortunes of the NDP as far as their majority now goes. That said, things still have to be certified. There's still a window of appeal that will take place. Monday's a holiday, November 11th, so that window of appeal goes to 4 p.m. on Tuesday. If there is no appeal or appeal that is made here, then it doesn't have to be heard, but if there is, it has to be heard within 10 days. Regardless, the NDP is forming a government. Whether it was minority or majority, it is a foregone conclusion that it would be Premier David Eby, and so he has a cabinet in line, and they are going to be. The date has been set as November 18th for that government to be sworn in. But indications now are that this is going to be a majority government. But it was so close. Far too close for the CBC election desk to make any call on this, Andrew, at least not until now. A judge has gotten involved here and overseen this recount.
Sarah, thank you. The CBC's Sarah Galashan live in our Vancouver newsroom.